My name's Tom Mayers, and I'm president of the Longboat Key Historical Society. And this is March 6th, 2011. And we're starting a series of interviews about Longboat Key. And we're going to call these interviews Longboat Key Reflections. So we're going to seek out people who have a history here on Longboat Key and want to, put things down for historic purposes, and we'll go ahead and record these interviews and use them in the future to have information on Longboat Key's past.
Hello, I'm Kent Chetlain, and I have been in this area since 1957, so it's been over 50 years. And when I came here, it was dramatically undeveloped and very pristine, and Cortez Road was a two-lane highway. And I was here, my wife and my children witnessed the opening of the Cortez Bridge in 1957, and we rode over on the old bridge, which was a small wooden thing that was very narrow, and then going back home that night, we rode over the new bridge. It was already open. The bridge was opened by the Ringling elephants, with girls up on top, and they marched in single file, two abreast, all the way across the new bridge to the, they had the opening on the Brady Beach side at the toll gate. And they had a ribbon cutting, and they had a lot of prominent people make brief speeches and so forth. And from that point on, this area began to develop. They opened the Anna Maria Bridge in the fall of '57. This bridge here crossing Longboat Pass, while it officially, I think, was opened, or at least it was officially finished in 1958, about a year after the Cortez Bridge. However, they had some things to do to complete the bridge, and as a consequence, it wasn't really open until 1959. And it remains as it was then, a two-lane bridge. And then the area itself attracted a lot of people. The early development of Longboat Key, as far as a continuous community, took place on the north end of the key, on the Manatee County end of the key, and in 1914, I believe they opened their post office then. There had been a post office further down the key, and there had been a farming community down there at Corey's Landing, which has been preserved by the developer, Bill Boyer, and he's to be credited with keeping that alive, because that landing was where the very first post office on the key was located in 1906. I have some pictures of the key here. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I have here an array of pictures, primarily given to me by Laura Whitney of Whitney Beach, after she completed her very wonderful book on Long Beach. She gave me these pictures that she hadn't been able to use in the book, and they're quite interesting, and I think they reflect what the community looked like back in the early days, after they started developing up here at this end of the key in 1913.
Now I'm going to move this so you can maybe just place the pictures right here. See the camera?
Yeah.
The camera's right on them.
Oh, I see.
So go
Yeah,
ahead. If you
right.
just put the pictures down right in front of the camera, that would be great.
I think this picture here shows a large, it looks like a Jewfish or a giant grouper or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And I would judge that that probably weighed about 125 or 30 pounds.
Or more.
Or more, yes. And here is a picture that is, I know, very old. I would say it's back about 1913 or 14. And the fishermen are bringing their nets in. I don't know if those are cast nets, but they're bringing in the nets in with the fish. And there was an abundance of fish back in those days because we didn't have the tremendous fish industry that was just taking up everything in the waters. There is a picture. This woman has a very interesting past. Her name is Millie Johnson. I believe she came down here from Wisconsin. And
Okay, you have to get it right in front of the camera.
oh yeah, and
if you lay it down right there.
Oh yeah, all right. And Millie, there's another one here. I think of her. This is up by their restaurant, which was right up here at the north end of the key.
Right.
And she with her husband, Gene Johnson, operated this restaurant from 1935 until 1940, when they both went into into some kind of works. Mrs. Johnson was the first president of the PTA, and an original. Unfortunately, my eyesight's not too good here. And
Well, I think my mother said that she was like a Gibson girl, which was something to do with like the Rockettes, only from Chicago.
well,
Is that right?
she had
Like a dancer.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess that's true because Laura told me that that she was the life of every party.
Right.
And back in those days, the Boston Red Sox trained in Sarasota. And they made a habit of coming out at least once or twice during spring training to have a dinner out here. And Millie was a great entertainer, and she was the life of the party, and they all had fun. And there were people well known like Ted Williams.
And this picture here,
Is the inside of her restaurant, yes.
and that was the restaurant on Broadway.
No, as I understand it, was right across the way here.
So that was right across the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one on Longboat Pass.
Mother and Daddy said that Millie was bigger than her husband, and when there was trouble in the restaurant, she was the one who threw the people out.
That's right.
Okay, you got another picture? We'll put that in there.
Well, unfortunately, I don't have any explanation of that, but the big thing here in those days was the fishing catch. And they didn't have television and didn't have a lot of things. Here's a dredge. I think that this was probably a picture when they were raising the old Ritz-Carlton Hotel at the south end of the Key in New Pass.
Right.
And they brought this dredge in there. They had pilings of the original Ringling Bridge that was never completed.
Mm-hmm.
And those pilings had to be removed for safety's sake, and they had a dredge do that. Now here's some volunteer firemen at the firehouse, and I don't know. Ansel McMitchen was the fire chief. Cecil Schofield, I think he was the first city clerk.
And he also had a real estate company here.
Oh yes, yes.
At the end of Broadway.
That's right, and I think the firm's name, Schofield Real Estate, is still in existence. There was Howard Ridyard, who was from Massachusetts. That's Howard up there. He was a plumber, a plumbing contractor, and he put in all the plumbing here in the village when he moved here after World War II.
Okay, we got another picture here.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, I'm going to pull this over here. Get these out of the way, the ones we've already seen.
Yeah, historically, there's a marker up here that designates May 1539 as the time when Hernando de Soto, the Spanish explorer, anchored his fleet of 9 ships and six leagues to the northwest of here, which is at the north end of the key, and on his way making passage into Tampa Bay. He cut in behind Anna Maria Island, I guess, for protection from the waves and things. And this is another picture, I believe, was taken down at the south end of the key when they were just leveling the old original Ritz-Carlton Hotel along the New Pass.
Okay.
And here's another picture of some of the masonry that was still in existence. Let's see here. George Frost and Joe Winslow are the people in this. I think Frost is the older man and Winslow was the younger man.
So what were these, fishermen or residents?
They were residents, and they're coming in apparently from a fishing trip.
Okay.
Interestingly, this is the north end of
Longboat
Key, excuse me. And it shows that the tidal, there was a channel running between these two keys here, which now is where Jewfish Key is.
And it was Pickett's Key and Jewfish Key.
Yeah, Pickett's and Jewfish was the one on the south, and it was a larger, and the one on the north was Pickett's. And I think both of these keys were a accretion from the tidal waves back and forth.
Okay. So how about this one, this big one?
Okay, now this is the very southwestern tip of Longboat Key. You can see Country Club Shores up here, and this is Sands Point.
Sands Point,
yes, that's right.
Right.
And it was the first apartment building, and then it was converted into condominiums, and so technically it may be the first condominium, although I think there was one built before that. It was at Spanish Main.
Okay, I'll just put the picture here. If you get them ready for me, I'll set them right in front of the camera. Now, who is this lady? Do you know?
Yeah, this is Mrs. Eugene Wilson.
Uh-huh.
I don't know where she's from, but
Well, it looks like she's on Broadway in one of those houses there.
It is. That's exactly right.
Okay.
And here's another one in front of the house. This woman's name is Louise Colsey from Decatur, Georgia.
Okay.
And let me see. No, I think that's
Here's I'm going to just put these. If you just say what that is.
This is Clayton Frost, and he's he was one of the early fishermen that came here in the wintertime.
Right.
And they all became very adept at fishing.
Now, what about this boathouse? There were several boathouses. I have friends that have a boathouse that they have there.
This is Mrs. Risley's boathouse.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I'm related to the Risleys,
Yes.
and through marriage, she was married to John Sabrys.
Oh,
That was
I remember
that was his wife's
yes.
name.
Uh-huh.
Okay, now I'm going to go right here.
Yeah.